give them some insights on taking better care of themselves, even if they are busy or
I
family or
know.
work or all the things.
Yeah, life is so busy. And you mentioned like the podcast you've been on. Share some of that experience. You've been on, you mentioned 40. So how does that
Something
feel
like that.
to hit that? Because that's a big milestone in such a short period of time.
Yeah, it's been about 3-ish, 4 months. One of my coach mentors, Mike Milner, is I was on his podcast and just had a great time experience. And I said, you know what? I could actually do this. I'm more of a talker anyways. I have spoken to people on the phone for the last 12 years. I've stood in front of people for about 10 years. Before that, in a gym, I owned two gyms. I was a personal trainer, very comfortable with communicating, talking, and having some humor, fun along the way. And I felt that adding value in spoken word was better than me typing. My wife's way better of a writer than I am. So talking now, as it comes to connecting with everyone, I've been on family podcasts, I've been on men podcasts, I've been on women only summits. We were on a parenting summit together. Really getting a big picture of some of the general, say, challenges that everyone has. And I like this phrase. I'm not exactly sure where I picked it up. I'd love to credit someone for it, but we have many problems until we have a health problem, and then we have one problem. And that's the stand that I'm taking is, hey, I know life is busy, things are going on, but you still have to take care of yourself. If you don't, it will catch up to you at some point, either in just lack of productivity at work, lack of connection at home. Your health ends up being type 2 diabetes or a heart attack or something like that. And then that puts a massive strain on the life that you once lived and the people around you and how you operate moving into the future. So we have to take care of ourselves today, even if
I
we are
will
busy.
Yeah, I will 100% agree on that. Like you have the four pillars of health, right? Like you have the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental. And we
Yes.
struggle so many times with the health. So I guess my first question to you, Brian, is what do you think are some of the obstacles that people face when handling health obstacles, either in their life or even in their relationships?
Right, definitely. One concept is the time scarcity illusion. What I mean by that is we always, we always push things off to the future, right? We're not as connected in the present. Some of the big issues that we experience, and I'm dealing with it. Again, I have four kids, two high school, two middle school, three boys and a girl. I work online, so screens are a big challenge to be present and connected in my house or with other people. I mean, that's what we're doing here is a screen activity. But at some point today, I want to be able to spend time with my family and do something on this wonderful Sunday afternoon before summer fades away because it's almost August now and the kids go back to school August 20th or something. It's very quick this year. So we don't use time appropriately. We're not present in the time that we're doing. We often end up uh, scrolling too much, getting caught in the Netflix and chill loop where we are being they have it down to a science, right? They know exactly the storyline and how to thread it through to keep the engagement, the highs, the lows, the intrigue, the suspense, and then here's the cliffhanger for watching the next episode in a sense. And then they trailer it right before and you're hooked. I gotta watch the next one. Next, you know, it's 2 a.m. and you have to get up at work early and that's not a good way to go into your next day. And then we always, in our hustle culture, are focused on work. It's an unfortunate thing, especially with you're probably feeling it, the creation of AI. And although that's a good tool, but you're starting to see it everywhere and it's quickening the pace of this online presence. All of a sudden, you have the ability. I saw some guy making fun of it yesterday on Instagram, but now I could pay into a software subscription and have a fully faceless pro, athlete with doing all the things and telling all the things and saying it, and I could have it post 10 times a day every day, and I wouldn't have to do anything in a sense. And that's exhausting for us real creators, real people, and we're starting to even quicken the pace on that. So those are some of the immediate things, especially with the use of time nowadays.
I found that to be very interesting that you mentioned that because I thought you're actually gonna go the place where like people have like their AI wife and husbands now, like boyfriend and girlfriends,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's
Right? Could you
true.
imagine instead of dedicating X amount of time to your wife or the time I do to my partner as well, would
Right.
say that, you know what, we're gonna create an AI version of ourselves
Yes.
and
Yes.
delegate those tasks. And you made a good point that social media has such a big influence. I remember reading an article where someone was scrolling and they said that they would get home at let's say 8 p.m. be on their phone, not embracing their family. Then when they go to bed, they're scrolling until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, totally ignoring their family. What do you think
Right.
are some of the consequences of that type of action?
Well, I'm dealing with that with my 15 and 14-year-old Levi and Everett right now. The phrase being a father, it's just you learn a lot, right? By through trial and error. I will say I try to be the most loving husband. I try to be the most fatherly father, compassionate, caring, loving, and do a lot for my family. They're super important to me, but I fail. Right, I'm a human. I think I make a good choice, and all of a sudden, the other person just is just like, eh. So I always want to throw that out. I want to show up being a little bit humble in the words I say and the actions that I do and take. But I'm trying my best out here. Okay. Now, with say my older two and all the kids, I say this phrase is you choose your actions, you don't choose the consequences. Very important. And the amount of time that you're spending on TikTok or YouTube or playing video games or all this stuff, you're not participating in real life. My oldest son is easily distractible, and I keep calling him on it in hopes that at some point it sinks in. Hey, there's no value endlessly thumbing up and watching the next you, person play video games for the love. There's no value in that unless you're actually learning skills for Fortnite to improve your ability. Then okay, we could bend it a little bit where we're getting this perceived value from it. But if he's just on there watching randomness of people trying to grab other people's attention for the cost of views and eyeballs sake, that you're wasting your life, man, and it's gonna catch you. You're gonna pop out at age 40 and go, what have I done? What am I doing with myself? My second son, Everett, speaking on him, he's very, very talented. I made a social post the other day. Just, I'm really proud of him. This kid does all sorts of things. He plays viola, steel drums. He's in theater. He can dance. He can bake. He cut my hair here just the other day. This kid's multi-talented. He's running cross country and he's 6'3" at 130 pounds. He's going to be amazing, most likely, right? And he has the discipline and all this to do that. He makes his own jeans because none of them fit. You can't go into the store and fit this kid. I mean, his waist is like this big and his legs are this tall, and he's making his own jeans as well. And I said, hey, you're watching random things on Netflix or playing games. It's okay to do that and have some entertainment, but you're losing time perfecting your craft. And of course, I'm a coach. I'm driven toward personal development, toward learning skills and applying them. I'm always encouraging other people to do it in my everyday career. And I'm doing that to my kids, to their level